You are listening to the Mark Lesko podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko podcast.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life, yeah, it's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, and I'm feeling good. What is up, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the Mark Lesko podcast. I am your host, J. Rod, and this is Steelers Central. Folks, it's here. The moment a lot of us, and again, it was time. It was time. It's about Tomlin and the relationship that is no longer the head coach of the Steelers. I mean, guys, can we say it's a bittersweet thing? It really is because, hey, the dude had a hell of a personality. He was always well-spoken. He had some of the most memorable quotes. One of them, of course, being the standard is the standard. Unfortunately, that was the case with this guy because the standard was no longer acceptable. That really was the case. When you have, 50,000 people in your own stadium chanting "fire you," it's over. The fact that even came to fruition tells you that it was time for something new. So I just want to say a quick, thank you to Mike Tomlin and all the sacrifices he made for his life, for his family. He, gave us in those early years because, again, it was a lot of the transition from Cowher to him with all of those playoff years and that great, great defense with those great players. The guy just had the best, open for your coaching career, guys. I mean, the guy was like an assistant coach somewhere, and he was kind of like an under the radar hire, and he was only 35, 36 at the time. So the fact that he got this gig and he just had this coolness about him, I mean, he had a presence. We knew what it was all about. The minute he started speaking, we just kind of was like, man, this guy knows how to put on a little charm and a little, he was a little razzle dazzle in the beginning, but there was that transition from the Troy Polamalu and there was a lot of players that once they retired, Brett Kiesel and all them, that transition from that defense to the newer guys with Cam Hayward and Ryan Shazier, it was starting to realize that the magic had slowly begun to wear off. And then Big Ben started getting older. They introduced guys like TJ Watt to the group. And again, Cam Hayward being a big part of you saw the end of their careers. He was at the beginning of it. And Mike was always trying to make these teams memorable because, yes, they had a lot of great years. The Killer Bees during the 2010s, how can we forget that great offensive stuff? And that really wasn't his forte. The one thing that I'm always going to harp on with Mike was that he just was not an offensive dude. He was more of a defensive-minded guy. It's old school, but in the end, we know when it's time to start transitioning because as soon as Big Ben retired, we saw what happened to that offense. getting Matt Canada involved on top of Kenny Pickett being your choice to replace Ben and Mitch and Mason, it never worked. So I'm not saying it was spelling doom, but we never saw Mike Tomlin take a quarterback and mold him. He always had the Hall of Fame quarterback with Ben. So knowing that it has come to this point, it felt like it was about 3-4 years overdue. I'm not trying to say the guy doesn't deserve every opportunity, but it was definitely the inconsistencies, the way that it was always worded. It just seemed like it was always stalling, never really getting them to that next level, because up until 2017, we had not seen a playoff win. It was starting to reminisce of the Marvin Lewis situation in Cincinnati. Like, there are just times where things are over, and this is where it's at, guys. So it is an unfortunate ending, but the fact that he stepped down, I just have to commend him for doing the right thing, because it's about knowing when it's time to move on. And again, I wish nothing but the best for Mike. I never wanted the guy to feel like he didn't earn his spot, but there are times where it's just over. And with having said that, guys, it's time to think anew. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely nuts, guys, because again, you look at the carousel of coaches, let alone players that go through the NFL. 19 years. Guys, I just got out of high school when that happened. I have been an adult the entire Mike Tomlin regime. That just is incredible to know that I am almost middle-aged, and this is now my reality, where we are going into the offseason looking for a head coach. Unbelievable. This is – it's surreal, and I'm excited. Like, it does seem like there is a lot of – weight that is lifted off a lot of guys' shoulders, particularly Pat Freiermuth. I know that guy. I know he is a good player. He's a good football guy. He would never, say anything negative about Mike Tomlin. But guys, this is going to be amazing. The middle of the field could very well be open finally. The fact that it's just opening the gates. They parted for the open of the field to start coming in like. Hey, Burnout, what's up? Called it yesterday. They needed to move on from Tomlin. And again, that's the thing. They didn't move on. This was Mike's choice. And again, I don't wish anything ill will for the guy. He did what he did for us, and there were great moments, but there was a lot of inconsistency. So wherever he goes next, guys, I just hope it's a good fit for him. Let's see, 5 years too late. Yeah, George, I said it. These guys have gone through so much as an organization. I mean, guys like Cam and TJ to be there for a good majority of the end of the years. I can only imagine knowing how they could very well be on their way out themselves. I don't know what the new coach is going to bring, because it's everything. Nothing is safe. Every single coaching position, every single player, we don't honestly know what's going to happen. This right here is just like we just took the Etch-a-Sketch and finally shook it, and we have no picture. We are going to be making it ourselves finally. And the process of the coaching search, I know that the first and foremost thing they need to do is find a coach that is going to give the coordinators their positions back, their responsibilities. Please, whoever the new head coach is, when you have a defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, let them do what they do. I understand that the coach is responsible for all this. Let's see, Burnout, what's up? Deja vu as a PSU fan, Steelers fan, seeing two coaches getting replaced due to big games, blues, and disappointment. Yeah, this is, again, 2026 is definitely the year of change. I mean, you guys saw what I did at the beginning if you were there. I choose a song of the year for myself every year for like a New Year's thing, and I decided to choose Feeling Good by Nina Simone. And up until that playoff game, everything was going a pretty good year so far, but not everything in life can go perfect. But that, now listen, you can take a look at it as a silver lining, because it needed to happen. This relationship just needed to move on. So in a way, the game, how it ended, it opened this door, and again, wish you well, but it's time to look to the future. And the future, guys, is right here with these options. So let's take a look at our bachelors here. We'll play the dating game here. Let's see. Bachelor number 1, John Harbaugh. I mean, decent face, but, 27 years of season. And again, the whole joke that they have put out there, let's have Harbaugh come to Pittsburgh and Tomlin go to the Ravens. Let's not have a change at all. It's like, I don't need to hear that nonsense. But these guys, guys like this, he's kind of the same thing as Tomlin. I'm not a big believer in a coach like this. It just seemed like it would be kind of the same formula. They say that there's the, what's the word? They say there's the institution guys, and then there's like the work. I don't know, but like these Harbaugh and Tomlin just have too much in common. They kind of have that same vibe. So it's like, I would not go this direction. So sorry, we'll move on. Bachelor number 3, Kevin Stefanski. I mean, that would not be the worst thing. I think the number 2 thing, I think we do need to go offense. I know traditionally, guys, Steelers have always been defense. I love defense. I'm a defensive guy, but there's nothing wrong with giving us something that, would be a little different. It's a change of pace. Like, come on, guys. I mean, we just got out of a long relationship where we're out there putting ourselves out there again. Let's see what, the other side of it is. Like, I wouldn't mind this, but I don't know. Just knowing that he has the style that he has, he has 20 years experience. I don't think it'd be the worst choice in the world, but I know that there are other options out there for now. I mean, Robert Saleh, I don't know, 21 years. The guy's been in the league. He is right now the current San Francisco 49ers defensive coordinator, and they have a good defense. Yeah, I mean, that's where we always go because we're always defensive-minded team. Knowing Pete Carroll, Kyle Shanahan, it's not a terrible option. I don't think he definitely would bring a lot of the, rah-rah for this team. And they need to make sure they have a coach who knows how to let the players do what they do. So Mike McCarthy, local guy, going with the Pittsburgh side of it. Old school West Coast, yeah. Offensive, yeah, he always had the good stuff. And if we're going to retain Aaron Rodgers, which right now looks pretty minuscule to me personally, 31 years. My goodness, guy's been coaching almost as long as I've been alive. I don't know. Just the new way it all works out, he has not been able to hold that job since the Green Bay years, and he always had struggles even with them. So I don't think that's the way I would go. Cliff Kingsbury. That's an interesting idea. That's interesting. 6 years. He's youngish. I mean, modern air raid, Lincoln Riley influence. Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst choice. I do kind of like that it is younger. Like I'm looking at what now, like the Steelers traditionally, when they bring in guys, they're like in their 30s, mid 30s, early 40s at the oldest when they start. So, I mean, Cliff Kingsbury looks like he's about 40, 45. That wouldn't be too bad. But let's see what else is out there just for fun. See, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator, 8 seasons. That's not bad. Yep, McDermott and Peyton. Those are good company. It's not a bad choice. Again, Josh Allen, you got to find a quarterback like Josh Allen. And I don't know if that's going to be out there in the draft this year or anything in the offseason. I mean, defensive-minded guy, 26 years. Again, kind of the same schemes that, Harbaugh and Tomlin, 65. It's not the worst age, but it's like, I feel like whoever's going to take this job, I think they need to know they're going to be doing it for a minimum of 10 to 15 years. Jesse Minter, defensive coordinator, 6 seasons. Mike McDonald, Jim and John. I think I can pass on that again with knowing that this is really their schemes. Todd Monken, Ravens offensive coordinator, 11 years. That wouldn't be a terrible thing to have. I mean, he knows that division. That's going to be helpful. Brian Flores. See, what is this, 4 or 5 years ago we could have had that? 22 years experience, Bill Belichick guy. He's a winner. He knows how to figure out good schemes, but it just seems like that's not the way I want to go with it. I mean, Mike McDaniel would be a great option for the offensive coordinator when Arthur Smith leaves. That'd be a guaranteed with that. Another Kyle Shanahan guy, I would rather have him for an offensive coordinator. That would be the way I go with him. If they were to get him, that would be for the offensive coordinator job. Let's see here. Lou, I'm okay with that. Anthony Weaver, 14 years, defensive mind. Rex Ryan, we all know where that went. Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator. Pete Carroll, I don't think that's, You're not doing Clint Kubiak. That is a name I've heard a lot. That's the Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator. 10 years. That's fantastic. Kyle Shanahan and Gary Kubiak. Yeah. See, that's the rate. I think that's the direction I would go. If I would choose probably Clint right now and Arthur Smith, we know where he's going. David Shaw, 10 years. Pass game coordinator. John, and no, I'm good with that. Let's see, Clayton Adams, offensive coordinator. Again, it's just Frank, right? It's Brian Schottenheimer. That's not terrible, but Vance Joseph, he's been in the league too long, and I see the line of guys. Anytime I see Marvin Lewis, it's like, but Denver's doing really good this year, so it's not the worst way to go, but that's a different altitude. Anthony Clemente, defensive coordinator, 6 seasons. Don Brown, Jeff Haft, I think I'll pass. Mike Kafka, interim head coach for the Giants, offensive schemer. Andy Reid, I mean, it's not terrible, but that's not jumping out at me. Davis Webb, this is game pass and coordinator and quarterback coach, 3 years, young. I mean, that's the direction that the Steelers would want to go. And Chris Shula, that's the other name I heard too. That would be a good choice. 11 years. Defensive schemer, and Sean McVay, Wade Phillips. I don't think that'd be the worst thing. So that's where I'm going to stop with this. Let's see here. I'm way behind on the comments, guys. I'm so sorry. Let's see here. DJ, what's up? Fresh start for PSU and Steelers. Woohoo! Oh, yeah, buddy. It's a great time to be a Steeler fan. Let's see. Don't be shocked if Patricia gets in the interviewing process from Ohio State. Okay. Thank you, Burnout. Let's see. Get Joe Brady. All right. Let's see that. List is going from slightly expired milk to sour to chunky. hey, it's their list, bud. I'm just trying to read off of it. See, Johnny Manziel drunk dialing Rooney about the. Thank you, Raul. That wouldn't be surprising. Let's see, Georgie. It's George Brady would be my choice. Okay, Joe Brady. I wouldn't mind it. The only reason a head coach has one job, one do or die, has seen success. Grab a QB that will get you to the playoffs. Belichick teams sucked after Brady. Knowles stunk after Brady. Yeah, guys, there's so many different ways that this group can go. But yeah, the Rooney family knows that this is only the 4th head coaching position in 55 years. That is unbelievable. Knowing we got to really let that sink in, knowing that a lot of our dads and grandfathers have only seen 1 or 2 coaches and 3. It'll be the 4th one they've seen in their lifetimes. So, I mean, I'm not going to be on much longer. I'll just end it with this, that this is right here one of the greatest opportunities to show that we can potentially open things up for this team and this organization, because as much as we know that Tomlin did get us into the 21st century, we know that the struggles have always been with injuries and, schedule and strength. Like, they knew that they had players and talent, but the whole planning and the whole, I guess what I say is like prep, like these guys, they're trying to say that Tomlin knew all the defensive side, but when it came to developing the offense, you got to know how to do both. And that's just really what his side of the ball is. Let's see. Change is here and is both exciting and terrifying because it is the unknown of what's to come. Amen, Burnout. I wish we knew, but that's the thing about this. This feels more exciting than it does terrifying because we know the players that they already have. That's really where it comes down to that they need to think of the quarterback situation. And who knows? Because now the thing I know about Mike Tomlin's situation, they did retain his rights. So we have him for another year. That means if we trade him to whoever, then we get draft picks for it. Like, that's pretty awesome. Hey, really? The next Steelers? Oh, come on now, guys. Do you think I'd be able to handle the locker room? No. As much as I love talking about it, I know where my voice carries, and I could just I'd lose them in about 3 seconds. But I appreciate it, man. It's so important to get this right, though. We all are in agreement on that. These guys have put themselves in this position. They overstayed the issue and they needed to address it, and Mike did it for them. So I applaud him for that. And just know that this fan base knows exactly what they want and what they've been waiting for. Now, we are willing. I can feel it, and I'm not saying I want to speak for everybody, but I know that this is going to be probably, I want to say at the minimum 2-3 seasons before we can say, yeah, we'll be in complete contention again. Not that we just can't pick it up and start doing something great, but realistically, between drafts and Omar Khan's amazing ability to do something, get players. Now, again, who knows what it's going to look like when a new head coach comes in and takes guys like potentially Calvin Austin or Scotty Miller and make them better players. Between Adam Thielen and Marquez Valdes-Scantling, I mean, it just seems like this is all of them are out. Can he come back? He has been putting on back-to-back great years in his position. So I don't see any reason why, if he wants one more chance to do something for the next generation, that'd be a great way to go out to set them up for the future and know that you were a part of the beginning of the next stage. So the veteran leadership could very well be there with guys like TJ and guys like Nick Herbig. I mean, this dude is going to want his money, and it's definitely got to show next year that they're going to use him as much as possible. And Highsmith just went berserk in the last 6 games of the season. It's just amazing. Hey, Andy Cart has to be an offensive-minded coach. I do agree that's the way they got to go. This is the way the league is now. They want a lot of points, and we need to make sure that they have – and again, that also could be coordinator. It can't just be offensive-minded coach. Maybe the offensive coordinator can finally be figured out correctly. So whoever that guy is and they bring him in, that's where it needs to go. Let's see. Tomlin took the more dignified way to end his career instead of the old guard refusal, call it a day, and then up looking terrible legacy-wise to end their career. Yeah, I very much agree. I commend the guy for knowing that it just wasn't working, and instead of kicking and screaming, the guy just bowed out, said what he said, and now it's on to the next stage. So I'll end it with this, guys. These players, this fan base has been stuck in this process for quite some time, and to know that it is finally lifted up. I mean, the sky's a lot bluer. I think that the sun is shining a little brighter for everyone. Again, it needs to know when it's time. And I think he knew it, and he gave us all this chance to know that there could be something else out there. So I hope you guys have yourselves a great night. I've enjoyed this. Thank you all for commenting, guys. Let's see, ending with here. We got to get Rodgers out of here and develop a quarterback. Nice if Howard was the guy. Get some decent DBs too. Listen, who knows? The coordinator or the new coach could look at Will Howard and say, Bud, we got to give you a chance, see what you got. And who knows? Maybe this new coach can mold the guy very quickly. He has had a year of watching this team, watching a guy like Rodgers. Maybe we do have our franchise quarterback already. The guy's a local guy. They'll want to galvanize around him. So this next season, we'll see what happens. It's an offseason of a lot of possibilities now. What we thought was going to be a long offseason could very well be a very relaxed and very open-ended conversation for what's all going to come with coaches and players and all. So you guys enjoy yourselves. I will see you guys next week for my Black and Gold Mondays. And until that time, guys, here we go, Steelers.